Okay, testing 1 2 1 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Pro Trade Room Plus, the WASDE report. Welcome to everyone on YouTube that's watching our live stream. This is our stream of the week. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director for 10-minute trades. I want to remind everybody that it's possible to lose money trading futures. Everything we discuss is for educational purposes only. We're not financial advisors, so please trade carefully. And just a reminder for everybody, you can still join the challenge, www.abtchallenge.com. There's a link for upgrading to the DMM and the trade room upgrade, and you can still sign up for the software for 30 days. And I can definitely post that later. Let's get cracking. And let's look at what's going on with WASDE today. So a lot of new people in the room. Want to welcome a lot of our challengers. So we have basically a good solid 30 minutes until WASDE, roughly 30 minutes. And WASDE is a grain report, and it's a report that has to do with corn and soybeans and all sorts of grains that are available for export and planting. And the WASDE is a report that over the years we've been trading it ever since the day I got here. It's a report that we've traded, and it moves quite a few different markets. We concentrate on corn and soybeans, and that's what we'll be looking at today. And once again, we're trading futures with the Ninja Trader platform. And I have posted on YouTube, especially for our YouTube friends, all the links if you still want to join up with us for the challenge. So good morning, everyone. I'm assuming you can all hear me just fine, and you can see the charts. So we're going to get started. So what is a WASDE? So the WASDE, like I said, is a grain report. First thing we'll do is let's take a look at the DMM, the daily trade report. And let's take a look at a couple of things that are pretty important on this report. So if you notice, if you scroll down on the DMM, there's two different instruments that we have setups for. And I've made some modifications to the DMM for today's trade room. I am not recommending a corn trade right now. If you look at corn, March was a cancellation. It only moved 8 ticks. February, it only moved 9 ticks. November, it only moved 11 ticks. This is unprecedented, unusual behavior. And even if it had a decent move in January and December, which I think it did, my memory serves me well. Let's pull up the video from December 8th, because I do think that WASDE had an interesting, I think it had a winnable move, but let's find out. We'll watch the video. Hopefully I have that video. That was only 30 days after I was hit by a car, and I think I made most trade rooms, but you know what? We don't have a video for December. We did trade it. You know what? We do. We definitely traded it. There wasn't, I remember back in December, there was an error in the schedule. WASDE was on for the wrong day, but we still traded it. It didn't, we figured it out days in advance, and we traded it. So it wound up being on December 9th instead of the 8th. And we've got corn on the left, soybeans on the right. And back in December, we were actually trading a trap trade on corn, and we were trading it live. Let's see what it did. So you could see on the video, there's 10 seconds before the news is going to come out. We had a small profit that day. It looks like of $100 and something. There's the trap trade, 2 orders above the price, 2 orders below the price. And the news probably just came out. You could see corn is kind of moving, not all that dramatically. The WASDE is one of those reports where there really isn't a great calendar showing us the news result. And normally, we normally know that we're filled by price action. We normally know the news came out by the price action, which gets us filled. That's how it's been behaving. As of late, last 3 months or so, financialjuice.com, a website that is one of the tools that we use for trading the news, they have actually been covering the WASDE with a little bit of the news relating to corn, cotton, and soybeans. But you could see that in December, we had another one of these WASDEs that there just was nothing going on. And we had a no trade, it looks like. It was more than a minute after the news. I never like to cancel WASDE because it's one of those reports where up until recently, we never knew when the news came out. Now, with Financial Juice, it is possible to know when the news is released. And the reason we don't know is, again, because the news is not covered on the calendars. It's just an event that the calendars traditionally have not paid attention to. It doesn't mean it's not an important event, but December was also a no-fill, and that was live in the trade room. So you've got corn with 4 months in a row of no-fill. We had corn with a no-fill on the quarterly grain report 2 weeks ago. So obviously, we're not trading corn today, okay? And I'm not recommending that anyone trade corn. If you want to be a lunatic and you just, for whatever reason, you absolutely have to trade corn, then I made the bracket smaller on the DMM. I made it a bracket of 10 from 20. And, you know, you want to trade corn, go for it. I don't see the point when for 4 months it hasn't moved. The interesting thing, and one reason why I don't think someone would be completely crazy for trading corn, is the truth is these things often return back to the mean, and that means that corn is going to start moving again on WASDE. So that's why it's not completely insane to trade it. So if you're going to trade corn, trade it as a breakout. A bracket of 10, targets of 7 and 17 is fine. A stop of 20. I think everything is okay on this DMM if you insist on trading corn today. You can look, you can even set up the trap trade if you want to. Our members that know how to trade, you could use the alternative setup. If it's no response, it just won't fill you. So there's no harm if you want to set up the trap trade. I don't think there's too many people because people don't love the trap trades. They find them nerve-wracking on some levels. So, if you do want to trade the trap, we have tiers of 18. I would probably do 18 and 28 with a stop of 22. That would be my corn trap trade, and I would use a prep of 5 seconds. Okay, but let's talk about what we're going to trade. I'm going to trade soybeans. I'll do what I always do on WASDE. I will set up a corn trade that will be ready to go live, but I would only go to it if something happens on soybeans before the event that made me not want to trade soybeans, such as a move that is so early that it makes me think the news is released improperly or something of that sort. Every now and then, honestly, we saw that happen once on WASDE over the past 3 years. But I got into this habit of setting up an alternative second trade. So if I were going to do a trade on corn, I would do the breakout trade. It's a breakout, and my activation would be 11:59:59. My bracket would be 10. And I would use 2 contracts, 2 positions, and I'd go for a target of 7 and 20, and my stop would be 20. Corn, ZC 0523. That would be my setup. It's a breakout trade. I would make sure that I turn off my account warnings. I would make sure that my software trade is labeled corn. And I am hearing Financial Juice Pro's Squawk Box in my headset. So I should know when the WASDE report is released if for any reason it's late or something of the sort. I'm going to test my bracket size by setting my time to 00, just to test my bracket width. You all know the deal. Well, not, a lot of you don't know the deal. A lot of you are new. So see how I don't want my brackets so far apart that I can't see them. I don't want them so tight together that I can't manage the trade. I like them like that. So I can manage the trade, see the movement in the price, see our arrow for current price. That arrow represents current price. Putting the bracket on the chart also lets us see the volatility that's taking place right before the event. Okay. So that bracket looks good. Now, sometimes grains can be strange in that sometimes a forward contract has a lot of volume. So if I go to new and market analyzer and I put the current corn contract on the chart, I don't even have to really check anything. We've got 7 days till rollover. And I really think the volume's good on corn. That's definite. The volume is good. The next corn contract, I probably don't have it in my instrument list. Oh, you know what? I do. And it's very interesting, folks. It is quite interesting. The volume, it's a shame. The volume is mixed. In other words, we've got half the volume on May corn and half the volume on July corn. Both of them have plenty of volume to trade. I do not like mixed volume as a general rule. I don't like it because it takes away volume from the contract you're trading. And that might, it can add to increased liquidity issues where maybe you don't have enough orders available right when you get down to the exact moment of the news. So I don't like it when there is mixed volume. And we do have a little bit of mixed volume as well on soybeans. Okay, soybeans, but nevertheless, the May contract is more volume, so we will stick with May. We're going to stick with May. Now, we have a lot of people watching on YouTube. How about a couple of you please hit the like button for us? You know, we come here, we stream for free for you. Give us a like, because that's like the way you could say thanks for streaming and watching what we do. So if you'd be kind enough, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. You'll know the next time we're streaming. So I'm going to put my time back to 0 to 11:59:59 on corn. It's set, and I will put my charts on live and my software on live. So like I said before, if something should take place that made me want to trade corn, I have that ability. All I have to do is check the enabled box and my corn trade is live. Okay. Now, but I'm trading soybeans today. And we're trading a breakout. Our entry is 11:59:58, not 111. And the bracket is 10. I have 2 positions. And my profit target is going to be 9. And I'm going to go for 39 on my second target, a much bigger second target. In case we get a big move, I want to have the opportunity to participate. So I'm going for 9 ticks and 39 ticks. Corn and soybeans are $12.50 per tick. Just so you know, just like the mini S&P. And you could see that corn's been trading pretty well. Excuse me for drinking. I need that whiskey. Keep me sober and straight. Not sober, sane. There we go. I always think of that scene in Easy Rider, Jack Nicholson's first part ever. Nick, he takes a drink of booze, and it's just such a crazy scene. Nobody even knows what I'm talking about. What's Easy Rider? No one even knows. An iconic movie. Jack Nicholson's first part, but nobody even knows who Jack Nicholson is anymore. He doesn't act anymore. He's retired. He's very old now. 11:59:58 is our breakout activation, a 10 bracket. Targets at 9 and 39 with a stop at 20. Turning off my account warnings. And I'm going to label soybeans. Soybeans. I'm going to save a template. Call it WASDE. A template is a file you can load in. You can see the way you traded the next time you come into the room and look up your template. So next month, if you forgot how you traded the WASDE soy, you could make sure you date it for 11/23, and we can pull up the way we traded. And I'll do the same thing. I want my bracket width tested. Now, but I have to go back and put my charts on sim. You don't want to be testing brackets with your charts on live. You don't want to accidentally, right, put yourself in a trade. Now, I was looking up at my control panel, and it's corn that's live. See how it shows me the account name? My soy is sim, so we're good to test the bracket. Now, as long as, and that is a very nicely formed bracket. I like that bracket. We will go with that. And we will go back and put our time back on 11, I mean. It's a 12 o'clock event. And a 10 bracket targets a 9 and 39. Frank, we're not recommending a corn trade at all. If you look at the DMM, corn has not had a fill in 4 months. We're only trading soybeans today. Excuse me. If you decide you're going to trade corn, use a 10 bracket. And you could trade the trap if you want, Frank. Just I'm not expecting much movement out of corn today. It doesn't mean there won't be movement. It could revert to the mean. It could have a great trade on corn. We all know how this goes. But for today, soybeans, 11:59:58 is our trigger time with a bracket of 10. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, targets of 9 and 39. Our stop is 20 ticks. And that's how I'm trading it. I've got my label, apply it, okay it. Let's make sure our time got set back. It did. My charts are on live. Our bracket is beautiful. Soybeans. So we're now ready to trade. We have a couple other things to do. We're going to check our time sync, right? We're going to check our time sync by going to the website. Time is, and you can see my computer is in sync. Remember, we talk about being in sync. I posted in the Facebook group for the challenge the link for the sync. The link for the sync is posted in the Facebook group. It's also for all our traders in the trade room. There is a room drive as part of your trade room taskbar. If you click on the room drive, you'll find D4 time, dimension 4, the time sync program, along with Karen's time sync, which is PT sync. And also our little clock is in there. This nice little clock that we use. All right, let's look at a video of the WASDE. Let's look at last month one more time. Let me show you the short video because corn didn't do much, but soybeans did. On the right is corn. On the left is soy. Soy filled anyway. I don't remember if we made money or not. I think it was a small winner. It was not a very big mover, which was pretty surprising. In March, I shrunk all my targets. Definitely shrunk the targets. And eventually it just barely goes up. It just barely goes up. And it hits a small target for a little bit of a profit. Okay. It was not a good move, not the kind of move that we expect. And then corn, we didn't trade it last month. It actually, it had a move, but it was not huge. If I remember pretty definitively, the trap would not have filled. The trap would not have filled. It looks like a better move than it was because my charts were spread a little further than I normally would have them spread apart, because that's really not even 2 points. That's 8 ticks, 10 ticks. So WASDE has been a little bit quiet. That's what we've been seeing. but it has potential to do a pretty good move. We see it. This is the time of year that normally we would expect a good move out of the WASDE. So we're 5 minutes away. In January, there was WASDE with quarterly grains. They traded together in January. And we were trading soybeans again on the left. And it had a very big move. And we were trading a trap trade back in January. And it would have been, looked like it would have also been an excellent breakout. So it was a viable trap. You had to get out pretty quick. And it also had a nice move as a breakout, worked both as a breakout and a trap. So we did our testing. Look, Chantal and I did our testing, and soy is a breakout as a breakout and a breakout, constant. It tends to work fine as a breakout. Corn had been better as a trap, and corn, though, has gotten quite quiet. So we've only got a couple of minutes, 2.5 minutes to go. And, you know, I don't like to guess what's going to happen. My gut feeling today is a quick fill. That's my gut feeling, that there's going to be a quick fill. We're not going to be waiting around wondering what's going to happen. That's what I think. So we got 2 minutes. Watching corn on the right, trading soybeans on the left. So I know there's quite a few new people in here watching what we do for the first time. So we have a minute and a half. We're just sitting tight. You're in sync, should be in sync. And we're just going to wait 1 more minute and see if how quickly this report comes out and whether there's a fill. Soybeans will fill, I believe. All right, in the last minute. All right, so we just have about 40 seconds to go. All right, our brackets will show up on the chart 2 seconds before the official release time. Okay, there's our brackets. So unfortunately, it does a complete whipsaw, and the trade does not work. Not much you can do when you get a complete whipsaw. It would have been, I mean, it's so frustrating sometimes. It could have been a perfect, we haven't been trading. Corn did virtually nothing. And WASDE does a trap trade. You know, when we've been trading breakouts month after month after month. I mean, the testing that we did every month was a breakout, and today a trap trade would have worked perfectly. Just too tight. The bracket, everything about the setup was too tight. But I don't think, I want to look at the video and analyze what happened here. So hang on one second, folks. Let's look at the video. And see how big of a bracket we might have needed. Chantal, are you here? By any chance? So I want to see, first of all, let's look and see what happened. What happened is we got absolutely no follow through on the movement after the report came out. There was no follow through whatsoever. So what happened is, there's our brackets. So 1497.50, okay? 1497.50 is our bracket. It's 4 points, 4 ticks per point. It's 4 ticks per point, okay? So a 10 tick bracket is 2.5 points. So we got filled at 1494.50, 1494.50. And it never really followed through at all. And the move went north. The move went north. So the current price, if you notice the current price, if you take away 10 ticks from 1494.25, you're 1493.70, 1492.75. Sorry, 14, add, I'm taking it away. 1492 is our bottom first target. If you add the price at the price that the bracket was at was 10 ticks. It was 1490. Add 10 ticks to 1494.25. So if you add 12 ticks, it's 1497.25. It was 1496.75-ish. But I think a bigger bracket could have worked. Absolutely could have worked. It's extremely frustrating when all your testing shows a bracket of 8 and smaller would have worked every month. And then one month you come in and you get the bracket being made smaller because all the testing is showing that a smaller bracket would be fine, and it doesn't work. And the bigger bracket would have worked. One of the reasons we are using and looking to use a smaller bracket is because the moves have gotten smaller. And that was a difficult move. Let's watch the move one more time, see how far, and then we'll see how far it went when we take the video off. So it never followed through. It barely ever gave us, it gave us no opportunity for profit, a zero opportunity for profit. So 1496.75 was the bracket, and definitely I think a 20 tick bracket could have kept us safe, very possible. And then it shoots up and ultimately whips back down. Unknown what we would have used at this moment for a trap trade had we used a trap trade. And then corn just looks like it did a very slow downward movement, a very slow downward movement. So unfortunately, the WASDE did not work. It happens. It's not going to be the first time a trade doesn't work. And you just have to move on to the next event. And that's what you do. You analyze what happened. If you feel that you need to tweak for the next report, you tweak for the next report. Otherwise, you just get back up and you trade the next trade. Does anybody have any questions? Otherwise, we'll be back in the class at 3 o'clock. API, there is no trade room today, so keep in mind there is no trade room for API. So I'll see everybody in the classroom at 3 o'clock, and it's still, you can still on YouTube, all the links are posted. If you want to join the challenge, it's free. You can upgrade. Everybody in the challenge can still upgrade to the VIP and to the trade room. So we'd love to see you do that. Then I'll see everybody in the classroom at 3 o'clock. And it's a shame WASDE didn't work today. The next WASDE will work, hopefully. So I'll see everybody later in the class. So have a good rest of your day, folks. See ya.